Now in a marina in Whangarei in New Zealand, the work on Shaddy is about to start.
Time for the old anchor to retire. Hello, little chap. Yes, what is it? What is it? Don't be there. I'm about to lower that on your head.
I originally bought this anchor some years ago in Curacao off some Norwegians after we'd had a few beers. Many years later, as you can see, its time is done.
You can see there wasn't much left on that. Anchor's finally left the boat. Oh. Well, see, old chum, did a good job for me. You've had your day.
And in case you were wondering, the little duck was fine. He didn't get squished.
What?
It's very, very early in the morning. It wasn't just Shaddy that needed a bit of a makeover and some maintenance. Me as well. So it was a case of getting myself down to the doctor for a checkup, make sure I was okay, get some pills and some maintenance done. Also gave me a chance to do a bit of exploring around the town. I didn't know they had totem poles in this part of the world, but obviously they do. And they have trees like this with some strange growth on. They have a bridge that runs through town with a railway track on with no trains and no people. Stopped off at this sports store. Had a look inside. Took me by surprise a little bit. A lot of guns. I haven't seen anything like this since I was in the States. In the UK where I'm from, you'd never see this. We just don't have guns. A sports store usually means a pair of tennis shoes and a football. Back in the town centre, I came across a glass shop where they actually made their own products. Kind of fascinating to watch glass being made. If you've never seen it before, check it out. It's a real art, and some of the stuff they made was very beautiful. Day out in Whangarei today. I've actually been getting stuff done, not only for the boat, but for me, doctor, dentist, and so on and so forth. Been to a health shop. I thought, well, being to see the doctor, I might as well get some healthy stuff. And I was watching the people in the health shop, and it's one of these organic places, and I've never seen so many wizened, dried out, undernourished looking sick people in my life. I tell you what, just eating beans and sweepings off the floor, it's not for me. Give me some dead animal any day. Yeah, talking about the hunting, fishing stuff around here, it's amazing. The New Zealanders really like to kill animals and eat them rather a lot. Yeah. Whangarei is a bit of an odd place in that it's got a slightly shoddy look to it. A sort of used and slightly abused look. It's a nice place, I like it. Years ago somebody stole some beer out of my cooler, so I had to write that warning on it. Anyway, that cooler now found itself on the back of my bicycle. I was equipped for an evening out. And a quick mention, I pushed the bicycle back afterwards. But just look at this. Indeed, a nice evening and nice company. Wherever they go, cruisers tend to make their own entertainment. With get-togethers very similar to this, it's a good chance to meet people, meet up with old acquaintance, and make new friends. Here are some very strange people. I've got a couple from Northern England here, this gentleman, and we got the Danes down here, from Danskland, you know.
Yes, from Denmark.
Yeah. Morning coffee before starting work. Those that follow my adventures will know the story behind the mainsail. It's original to the boat. In fact, most of the gear is that's on board. But the sail was completely, as we would say in English, shagged. It had had its day. It was completely worn out. I'd stitched it together and restitched it so many times. It was time for it to leave the boat also. Together with the anchor, it was destined for the dumpster.
There's all repairs there. Ribs there.
I was using the old sail as a template and taking measurements off it for a new one.
There's another one there. That's one I sewed up. I'm proud of that one.
I've been measuring this thing out, trying to get it right. It's super important, especially the height of the sail. That's the bottom and the top is up here. Where to put the reefing points in. I had a special reefing point put in myself for this sail, which was really made it really small, right up by the cross trees. I've decided to move it down a little bit. That's it here. And it leaves me with a very small mainsail, which is what I want. When it's been really bad, and you know some of the conditions I've been in, I look up this tiny little piece of sail I have up and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I put that third reef in, really, because you don't want to take this down and put a storm sail up. That's just not on. You can't do it, not in rough weather. There's the top. Gonna have the new third reef in here somewhere as opposed to up here. That left me with a very small sail, a bit too small. So I'm hoping moving it down a little bit will be a little bit better than it was. But I'm definitely having the third reef in. It really is a saviour when things go bad, as they do sometimes. Having a tiny mainsail so you could still sail into the wind and control the boat with a small foresail makes all the difference. And she's very narrow. Not a lot of roach in this sail. Roach is when this is the back edge of the sail here. It doesn't billow out. It's quite a small and tall, narrow mainsail. It really is. Maybe that's why I go so slow. Maybe I should just have a huge one made. I'm actually going to try and buy a second-hand one. It'll save me some money. Just preparing my evening meal of what will be a delicious curry when the gas went off. The gas is controlled by a small little valve switch down here, and also there's an electronic cut-off here. I can turn it on now. You can see that's on and that's off. The gas tanks are kept at the back of the boat in the lazarette, which vents out to the sea to stop any gas buildup and explosions and so on and so forth in here. There's two tanks over there, they're English ones, and then there's my European one, which I've been feeding off here. And above it is an electronic switch, if you like. It's a valve, electronic valve, which is operated by that switch in the galley. And I just came up to it and it was almost too hot to touch. It's surrounded by plastic just as another safety precaution in case there's a spark, because it is electronic and this is all gas. But that's super hot, so there's something wrong there. So I'm going to cut into the gas because all of this needs to be changed out and put new in. That's another job on the list. So I'm going to cut into it and put new regulators on these two over here and run off those, because I think the others have run out, but I don't know for sure. Had a lot of comments about the condition of the ropes that make up my sheeting system for the mainsail. As you know, I have a double sheet system, 2 blocks on it, one on either side of the boat, and the ropes do need to be changed. And here I am, guys, I'm doing it. Changing them. This lot, again, are for the dumpster, new ones to go on.
Coming out of the boat this morning, a busy day ahead, lots to do. It's quite cold, I gotta say. There's another English guy just moved next to me, and he complained about the cold as well. 2 English guys complaining about the cold must mean it's cold.
Going out for the day on the bicycle, but before I left, I stopped for a quick coffee at the local cafe. Checked out this place, scuba tanks, lots of sports equipment. I need myself a new wetsuit and some tanks, so I checked them out. Then found a good place to eat. That's always handy when you're in a new town, where to eat. The next day I was out again, but this time I got some wheels. My friends from Iris, Johanna and Timo had lent me their car, so I thought I'd make use of it, do myself a little shopping trip down the road. Nice to see this after so long in countries where you just couldn't get fresh prawns, fresh mussels, fresh much. To see stuff, even the salmon wasn't quite fresh, but it was salmon at least, and you could buy it. That was the main thing. And sausages, salami. Oh man, I was in seventh heaven with this stuff. Prosciutto. The list went on. And then there were the cakes. My goodness, New Zealand has cakes.
Why do supermarkets throughout the world always build their car parks on sloping ground? So when you put your trolley there, it runs away, just like that. These people deserve to be slapped with a wet lettuce. Look, that's because it's going to run into a car. Just every single car park at a supermarket, if you ever look at it, has a sloping car park. Look. Nuts.
Well, it's Friday night, so everybody's gone home. I think it's beer o'clock. I actually had the car for a few days, so made use of it. A friend of mine, Uncle Bob, desperately needed supplies, so I decided to help him out.
And about doing a bit of shopping today. See a shop called the Baby Factory. No, it's not right. We're just getting, my friend Bob and I getting some essential supplies. No publicity. Don't know whose shopping this is, but we got a card. I'll do it.
Then it was back to the marina and back to work. Had a lot of chipping to do. One of the main jobs indeed on Shaddy was de-rusting. Here in New Zealand they're pretty keen on keeping pollution at bay, hence the slightly modified vacuum cleaner. I'm trying to find my friends. I don't know where they are. And my friends from the boat Iris are here somewhere, but I don't know where. Just spotted them over the other side of the river there. I'm actually on the wrong place. I'm going to take a tour down here. Some real boat porn down here, guys. Well, I recognise this boat. Anybody on board? You can see why the guys have come out of the water. They, my boat's got epoxy coating on, and so do they when they've got 2-pack paint. But it's all coming off here, see? That's bad. One of their zincs there, what's left of it, and the other one here completely gone. Go and have a quick nosy round. Be a nosy neighbour. I love big engineering stuff. This is one big shed. Yes. I'm working away doing bits of stuff on the boat. There's a duck down here. This is my new friend, Mrs. Quackers. Keeps trying to come on the deck. No. Another working day here on the Shadmeister. Tools are out, but we've got a new tool. What's that? Basically, it's a hobbyist drill. Okay, it's a Dremel. I paid for this. It's not a product placement or anything like that. Got a tungsten tip on the end. Hellish expensive, but it seems to be doing the job, getting the rust off. I got it for these little bits down here. You can see where that's actually been treated. I've cut that away. It's going black because it's got rust killer on it. It's meant to do that, but it's got it back to bare metal. Yeah, and that fits underneath there. And there's a lot of these, for some reason, they rust underneath, and I can't get to them until now. Look at this guy, he's still out here. No. What you want? What you want? What you? It's my trained duck. Go on, do it again. Do it again. So basically, that's my life at the moment. Those are my neck in rust and crazy ducks. You're mad. He's getting angry now because there's no food. Yeah. Could be worse. Yes, anyway, on with it. Time for more work. More rust killing to be done. Time for the old anchor to retire. Get the hatch open. Tweet, 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 tweet. Yeah. What's up with you? Tweet, 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 tweet. How you make movie?